Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party have been disrespecting black people for a long time. We've been voting blue no matter who for the past 60 years or so, and the results have been catastrophic. It looks like the tide is starting to turn, but I'm cautiously optimistic because we won't know until election day how black voters decide to move. But I have a few video clips that I'm going to show you just to reiterate what I'm saying, because we don't see this type of blind loyalty from no other demographic. We don't see it from white people, Asian people, Latino people. Now, the majority of Hispanics and Asians do vote for the Democrat Party, and the majority of white heterosexual men vote for the Republican Party. And as a masculine heterosexual male myself, I stopped voting Democrat 14 years ago. I don't know how a masculine heterosexual male can vote for the Democrat Party anyway, because the Democrat Party, they're very anti-masculinity, they're very anti-black male, and they're very anti-heterosexual male, period. They love LGBT men. They love the black woman's vote, but they don't love you, black woman. And Kamala Harris is a prime example of that. And as you see in the thumbnail, I named this video Hip Hop, Sex, and Hot Sauce because they use hip hop, they use sex, twerking, scantily clad, dressed black women mostly, and they pull out a bottle of hot sauce. And they think that this is how they're going to get the black vote. And I've been saying this for a long time. The smart black people, we're at war against the stupid black people. There is a percentage of black people who are just plain Jane stupid, and they cannot be saved. They don't want to be saved. They want to be stuck on stupid, and we have to accept that they are not our people. Yes, they look like us, but they're not like us.
Right, Marlon? So I know how to make a mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub. So I am not playing around.
Really, Kamala Harris? You had to wash collard greens in the bathtub? It was so many greens. I'm from the state of Georgia, and trust and believe I done had my share of collard greens, and I done cooked them myself. My aunties done cooked them. My grandmamas done cooked them, and I've never seen no black person in my almost 40 years cook no damn collard greens after washing them in a bathtub. We'll put them in the sink and wash them. We'll put them in a big bowl and wash them. But come on, brother. She's cosplaying as a black woman. She's black when it's convenient, and she knows that a certain percentage of Negroes are going to fall for it every time. That's why I'm such a very strong advocate for the masculine heterosexual black male, because we have to stand up and push back, because we not rocking with this. But a lot of masculine heterosexual black men just don't vote. But we can no longer sit on the sidelines and not vote. We can't sit this one out.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen,
yes.
I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
And see, guys like Charlemagne, not the God. I don't know why he calls himself a God, because there's only one God and he ain't it. He's part of the problem. The black sellout is a problem. We know people like him, anybody in Hollywood, a lot of your rappers, ball players, they're going to promote the Democrat Party because they get paid to. And if they want to stay driving their fancy cars and living in their 10,000 square foot mansions and living in their gated communities, they got to go along to get along. They got to play the game. No surprises there. And we all remember when Quavo from the rap group Migos met with Kamala Harris after the death of his, I believe, nephew, Takeoff, cousin or nephew. Rest in peace to Takeoff. That was a very unfortunate situation. They're both from my state, but they were out in Houston, if you know the story, and there was a dice game that went left, and typical Negro behavior, gunshot ring out, and he lost his life. Rest in peace to Takeoff. And we all remember when they had the Cardi B, Joe Biden conversation that was televised all over social media. No other demographic has this problem. They don't do this to any other demographic. They don't never go to their celebrities. They go get people who actually are smart and who actually have real experience in politics and policy. And then we all remember the Get Your Booty to the Polls, how they use strippers to try to get black men to vote. That this is just mockery and a spit in our face and a insult to our intelligence. And like I said, it seems like a lot of us are getting tired of it, but it's got to translate into votes.
Get your booty to the pole, 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 get your booty to the pole.
You really not gonna vote? You know it's more than just the president on the ballot, right? Check it.
A district attorney decides who to prosecute,
including whether or not to go after dirty cops.
What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality.
Yeah, you know I'm out in these streets. And y'all know we can't forget about the vaccine song they tried to use a few years ago to get black people to get the vaccination.
I got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity, I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good, now let's all get the vaccine.
My question to you black people, are you tired yet? Are you tired of the mockery and the disrespect and the just ultimate middle finger to us as a community and the no respect for our intelligence? They act like we're all the same. We all just want to twerk and get drunk and high all day, and we don't all have any type of common sense at all. A lot of black people are actually pretty intelligent, and we are just as capable of any other demographic of succeeding in this country and making it out of poverty. A lot of us come from nothing. You know, my family come from the hood. My mama literally used to live in the projects in West Atlanta. Bowen Homes housing projects, one of the most notorious and dangerous projects in the city of Atlanta. They tore all the projects in Atlanta down, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, and I got one more video. Y'all, I know y'all remember this one.
It's voting season, bruh.
No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking. BLK app looking for some action. Swear the homie Scott was hit.
See what I'm saying? I know y'all remember the no voting, no fucking. And like I told y'all, the Democrat Party, they love the homosexual black male. They love him because he's going to be compliant. He's easily controlled. He doesn't exhibit masculinity and strength the way that the rest of us do. Like he's going to roll over every time. Sometimes even faster than a female. And Trina, you know, she's a washed up rapper. She's old for the rap game. She's almost 50 years old. And I think that was maybe like 3-4 year ago when they did that. Well, it was last election season, so it had to be at least 4 years ago. But no other demographic. They don't do this with the Latino community. They don't do this with the white community. They sure don't do this with the Jewish community. They'll be canceled before the song even hit the airwaves. But there is hope. I got a few screenshots and I'm gonna wrap the video up. There was a trend on Twitter or something trending on Twitter where they were saying I'm an original black American. I'm not voting for Kamala. Kamala not black, whatever. I'm gonna show you real quick. Us younger black folks under 50, we just a little bit different than the elder blacks. This girl put, my name is Sharice Lane. I'm a 25-year-old black woman and I will not be voting for Kamala Harris this election season. They tried to make fun of her natural hair. Y'all know I'm a big natural black woman advocate, so don't mess with my natural sisters. I'm a true black American woman and I will not be voting for Kamala Harris. Hashtag Kamala Harris is not black. Hashtag Divine Nine are enemies. This brother put, I'm a black American man and I will not be voting for Kamala Harris. And this is all over Twitter. Like they've been doing like a little trend and it's been trending for the past couple of days. This brother put, I'm a black American and will not be voting for Kamala Harris. And of course, an emotional Negro sent a tweet in response and called him a super coon just because he's not falling in line with the Democrat agenda. And here's another sister who put, I'm a black American woman and I will not be voting for Kamala Harris. Hashtag never Kamala. Shout out to her. And last but not least, we got another sister who put, I'm a foundational black American woman and I will not be voting for Kamala Harris. Hashtag not like us. Hashtag Kamala Harris. Hashtag FBA. Hashtag cackling Kamala. And we can't forget about Kamala Harris's legacy as Attorney General. This brother spent 18 years in prison, even though there was exculpatory evidence to exonerate him. And Kamala Harris actually made him go back to trial after 18 years of his life being ruined in prison. Because you got to remember, if something bad happens to you financially, you can get more money. If you get into a relationship with somebody and the relationship goes south, you can always get a new relationship. You crash your car, you can get a new car. Your house gets foreclosed or burns down or something crazy, you can get a new house. But you cannot get more time. That is the most precious commodity that we all have, and we oftentimes take it for granted. You cannot get back your time. She took away a lot of time from black folks out there in California. I mean, a lot of black folks ain't gonna never forget that. And I'm proud that some of us are waking up. We're in the minority. Most black folks don't think like us. If you watch my content, you're one of the smart black people, because I don't make content for slow black people. I don't make content for slow people. I don't care what color you are. I mean, it's YouTube, social media. Anybody can watch it. I don't mind other people watching my content that's not black. But I made this video because I know a lot of us are sick of this shit. We're sick of the Democrat Party, spitting in our face. We're sick of it.
A lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat.
No, Tiffany Cross. That's not how this is going to go. We're not going to keep getting in line with the black women. As a matter of fact, men's supposed to lead the women, not the other way around. She sounds insane. In the 2022 midterms, we saw the differences in how black men vote compared to black women, specifically when it comes to breaking towards the Republican Party. In my state, Stacey Abrams ran against Brian Kemp. As we all know, Stacey Abrams lost badly. 14% of black men voted for Kemp, who actually voted, and 6% of black women. So 94% of black women voted for Stacey Abrams, and only 6% voted for Kemp. No surprise there. In Florida, DeSantis got 19% of black men, and he got 9% of black women, which is also a pretty noticeable disparity. And then last but not least, the high water mark that the mainstream media will never talk about, because this is what scares them to death. 41% of black men voted for Republican Governor Mark DeWine, and 25% of black women voted for him. Now, I'm not the hugest fan of Mark DeWine. I don't think he's really a true conservative, but he's still a Republican. And you saw almost half of black men vote for a Republican in the state of Ohio. So shout out to the black voters in Ohio for doing something that does not get talked about by the mainstream media. The mainstream media would never tell you this because they know what it would do. It would let a lot of black people know that it's okay to vote for the other side. And this video is not about convincing black people to vote Republican. This is just an example of what happens when black people become free thinkers. If you like the policy that the other party is promoting, such as lower taxes, a border that keeps the illegal people out that come over here and take jobs away from people like us, not all this LGBTQ propaganda, men are respected as men, women are respected as women, no more foreign wars. Like, the policy differences couldn't be more clear. I mean, back in the day, the Democrats and Republicans were actually quite similar. But now, it's a whole nother ball game. Like, the Democrat Party has gone way out in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's a lot of Democrats that are not happy with what the Democrat Party is doing. But I don't want to make this video, Democrat versus Republican. It was really about Kamala Harris and the Democrats and how they continue to disrespect black people with their nonsense. So hopefully y'all like the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share, comment, all that good stuff. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.